The quest to win the 2014 World Cup continues as teams prepare for their second round opponents. For Nigeria, the hurdle to cross is France. Good evening and welcome. My name is Yemi Adebayo, and this is a Friday edition of Sports Tonight. There's a lot to talk about, of course, on the show tonight. We'll be talking about the 2014 FIFA World Cup. We now know the 16 teams in the second round. 2 African teams will be involved. We'll talk about all of that tonight on the show. We'll look at matches to be played this weekend on Saturday and on Sunday. Then we'll keep our eyes on the big one, Nigeria taking on France. That's on Monday. We'll be looking at all of that on the show tonight. At some point, we'll be joined by our man in Brazil, and that's Tony Bitoye via Skype. We'll be giving us updates from Brazil, telling us what's happening in the camp of the Super Eagles. We'll be doing all of that for you on the show. I'll give you a slice of tennis, tell you what has happened at the Wimbledon Championship. Today's day 5. We'll be telling you about all of that. And of course, it's Friday, and on Friday, what happens is we do bar sports. And of course, Babatunde Ogushiku is in the house, and tonight we will be talking chess. But let me quickly introduce my partners on the show, the guys that start off the show with me. Sitting right next to me is Sunday Koiki. Let me welcome you, to the show.
Thank you very much.
I'll tell you why I'm smiling. I'll tell you that later.
Thank you.
Also, is Said Abbas. Said, welcome.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being here.
All right. Well, let's go on a break. Let's catch our breaths. There's a lot to talk about, and we'll come back. We'll fire on all cylinders. Join us again. Thank you for joining us. Well, we said, like I told you, 16 teams have qualified. Let's take a look at the 16 teams. And I'll talk to my partners on the show tonight. If there's any surprise at this stage, most of us had our own, calculations, permutations. Well, that's it on screen. And the continents, the football bodies that the teams come from. And of course, you have UEFA, Netherlands, from UEFA, Netherlands, Greece, France, Switzerland, Germany, and Belgium. CAF, that's Africa, Nigeria, and Algeria. For CONMEBOL, you have Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Uruguay, and Argentina. Only Ecuador dropping off in that one. And CONCACAF, you have Mexico, Costa Rica, United States of America. Well, you want to say good returns for CONMEBOL and CONCACAF. Maybe not so good for UEFA and CAF. But today, any surprises? Is there anybody that you would have thought would be here that's not there?
Yeah, well, the usual suspects of, Spain.
Spain,
former defending world champions, because as it stands now, there will be a new winner. Then also 4-time world champions, Italy as well. You'd have thought that they would have probably been in the latter stages of the competition. Okay. But apart from Costa Rica, and Algeria, who have also made it to this stage for the first time in their history at the participation at the World Cup. Those are the only 2 surprises. I can readily pick out. And plenty of congratulations must go to them both, especially to Costa Rica in a particularly difficult group. Everyone expected them to be cannon fodder, but they surprised everyone by topping that group comfortably. 7 points, 2 wins and 1 draw. So Costa Rica have so far been the team of the tournament as far as I'm concerned.
All right, Said, let's leave the qualifiers now. Let's go straight to tomorrow's fixtures. And that's it on the screen. Let me allow you to have your say. The host, 5-time winners, that's Brazil, take on Chile. Colombia take on Uruguay. I don't know. Take a look at these matches and tell us what you think would happen when the hosts take to the field against Chile and when Colombia, another team that has surprised everybody, one of the few teams that were able to get 9 points, take on Uruguay.
Okay, one funny thing here, Jimmy, is 4 South American teams, Brazil versus Chile, Colombia versus Uruguay. The key thing here is they know themselves very well. I cannot sit here and say Brazil will definitely defeat Chile. You have to consider the fact that the Chileans have been fantastic so far. At least they got it past the likes of Spain, also against Australia. When against Netherlands, they were here or not there. But you still have to consider the fact that they have the likes of Arturo Vidal, they have the likes of Alexis Sanchez, and so far so good. It's been fantastic in the tournament. And you have to, let's say Uruguay, Colombia. There's a little bit tricky. That's a little bit tricky fixture. But looking at it now, I would say Uruguay might get the pass Colombia. There's still one particular thing lacking in that Colombia team, which I see. But this particular Uruguayan squad there, I think they have this compatibility with them. They have this compact midfield and compact defense. I have to consider the fact that Oscar Tavares, their coach there, has been there with them for several years, and he knows
so that Suarez is not going to be there. It's not going to count for much. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think so. But notwithstanding, you cannot write off Colombia. But one key thing here again, which I still stand on, is their South American side. They know themselves very well. They play together in common ball and all that. So definitely it's going to be a mouth-watering encounter.
It's not going to be a strolling. But okay, today is nothing there. Let me allow you to have your say.
Okay.
Brazil, I'm thinking that the firepower of Brazil will outscore you.
Look, let's be candid, Yemi. This is not exactly the best Brazilian team that we've seen in the past 20 years. I mean, if we're talking about, when a Brazilian team that is taking the likes of Fred to the World Cup, those are the best they can come up with. Neymar has been their saving grace. Yeah. His flair, his brilliance, his ability to be a match winner at all times. He has virtually carried this team on his own.
Some have said he has punched above his weight.
In terms of, no, I don't think so. Okay. In terms of being the cutting edge for the Brazilians, if he's not there, I struggle to see how the Brazilians are going to win anything or even score. So, and they have a very, very suspect defense. I mean, if a Cameroon could score against Brazil, Cameroon, in my own opinion, has been the worst team in this tournament. And if they could breach that Brazilian defense, it tells you something.
Okay.
And also, they also struggled tremendously against Croatia. They also struggled as well against to break down the Mexicans as well. The Mexicans could have taken that game with just a bit more luck. So I think, and that Chilean team is really, really explosive. Jorge Sampaoli has worked wonders with that team.
Yeah.
That is probably the most electrifying team in South America right now, and with the kind of edge they have up front, Brazil are in trouble and they know it.
Okay.
And as for the Uruguay-Colombia game, I think it's curtains for Uruguay. Uruguay, their poorest performance was when they didn't have Luis Suarez. Now the man is bad for nine international matches and 4 months. I struggle to see how they're going to be able to do anything
without him.
Yeah. They have Diego Lugano. Thankfully, he's not playing. Martinez, who stepped for him, is playing well, but they still play the same way. They defend deep and hope to spring on the counter, but there is no Suarez to counter. Colombia have the best playmaker in the tournament so far, James Rodriguez. They have one of the most informed wingers as well. 3 goals and 5 chances created, 1 Cuadrado as well. So I'm thinking
you guys.
I think Colombia is good for that game. Okay,
you guys have said a lot about Saturday. Let's move to Sunday now. Let's take a look at what's going to happen on Sunday, and of course in action will be the Orange Boys. It's talking about Holland, and I'm very sure it's going to come up on your screen. Interesting matches to look forward to. That's on Sunday. Of course, it's going to be Holland against Mexico, and of course Costa Rica against Greece. Let me start with you, Saeed. Looking at this. I don't know, if you're a betting person, you'd say, oh, yeah, the 2 guys in front, Holland and Costa Rica, because of the results in the first round. But football is not like that. So then again, I'll come to you. What do you think would happen on Sunday?
I think first and first, looking at this draw here, Netherlands, Mexico, Costa Rica, Greece. The key thing here is Netherlands. I think they have a good path towards the semi-finals now. If they can win this match now, they'll be meeting the winner between
let's
Costa
not
Rica.
look ahead of ourselves. It's too early. It's too early. But let's stick with where we have.
Okay. Netherlands, Mexico. It's going to be very, very interesting. But one key thing here is Netherlands. They have a fantastic coach, Louis van Gaal. He knows how to tinker his team. I don't know. He's a very cool coach, but he knows how to make his players work for what he really wants. He did it with Bayern Munich. I'm not forgetting he's been with different world-class coaches and all
he
that.
has,
So he has the
won
experience.
the league in every place. He's
Virtually
been to.
everywhere. In fact, the so-called Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, he's been with them. So he knows everything.
Okay.
He knows the look and kind of football very well. He knows how to tinker teams very well. But I feel the Netherlands will be too much for the Mexicans.
Okay.
Definitely not forgetting the fact that the Mexicans also, they've done a fantastic job so far in this tournament. Even their captain and all that, he's been very there for them. But notwithstanding, I feel they will be too tough for the Mexicans. But though it might be a close encounter, but I still feel Netherlands will get that one.
We'll pull through. Okay, Tunde, Costa Rica and Greece. I know you feel like talking about the Dutch, maybe.
Yeah, well, the Dutch, I think they're probably one of the best prepared teams in this tournament. The way they've gone about breaking down their opponents shows a team that has a plan and also knows how to execute that plan and also has a backup to the plan they want to execute. I mean, the way they went about destroying Spain showed people a lot.
Let me ask you a funny question. Somebody asked me: As Louis van Gaal, has he sold out? Some have said
sold out.
Yeah, some have said he has sold out. He's more he's more rigid these days. He's more defensive minded.
I disagree.
No.
He's always been one of the most cerebral, one of the most forward-thinking.
So he has adjusted to the times.
Let's look at coming into this competition, Holland played a 4-3-3.
Okay.
It was an injury to Roma's Kevin Strootman, who is the anchor of their midfield, that collapsed the entire system. So now they evolved a new system whereby a combination of 3-5-2 or 5-3-2 interchangeably, and it's working brilliantly for them. If that is a rigid coach, would he not have stuck with his 4-3-3 and look for someone else to play in the hole? Yeah. So I disagree.
And scoring
and they've been doing very well.
And they said he's added some steel to the team.
The fact that they beat Spain, world champions, as comprehensively as they did, the fact that they beat an electrifying Chile team with a second-string team shows that I think it'll be difficult for Mexico. Good team as well. It'll be a tight game, but I still think that Netherlands are still the best prepared, one of the best prepared teams in this competition alongside Germany. Costa Rica, Greece, I'm sure nobody saw both of them making it this far, considering their groups. But the Costa Ricans have really, really impressed a lot of people with the kind of game they play. Greece, too, have also shown plenty of resilience. That one is a very close game to call. It's 50-50 chance for either one of them. You are tempted to say Costa Rica, but when you look at how Greece went about getting a result when they needed it most against the Ivorians, you take a very brave, or some would even say a very stupid man to write them off.
Okay.
Okay. We can just give it to Costa Rica then.
Sorry, it's not yours to give anyway. We'll have to wait and see. But we have big games on our hands this weekend. 4 matches to enjoy. But let's talk about the big one, the one that concerns us. We might be talking about other games, but really, in our hearts, we're thinking of Nigeria.